Yay Networks.
You're listening to the Chatty Daddies podcast.
Welcome to the Chatty Daddies.
Chatty Daddies.
I'm Trey Peart.
I'm Nick Adams.
I'm JC Chavez.
And this weekend, if you're listening right now, if you're like as soon as it got downloaded, you're like hitting play, you're probably listening to us while Quaid's birthday party is going on.
Oh yeah,
Big weekend.
It is a big weekend.
I like what you're doing. You're having it at your house, but you still found a way not to make the house super crazy messy.
Yeah, we got a little fun bus that's going to be coming and or is here, depending on when you're or it came later if you listen after the party.
Already happened.
It's weird how time works with podcasts. But yeah, fun bus. There's going to be little kids running around in a playground, all retrofitted into a school bus. It'll be really fun. We got some other fun stuff going on.
Yeah, good.
Too. And I know last week we started talking about like trying to teach Kaysen about bullying. And I then thought, I've got some real things, some like real life situations I'm going to have to teach Quaid about that I am not equipped for.
Yeah.
I'm good with being a friend. I'm good with jumping on the ground, playing with balls, getting dirty. But I am worried about the time when Quaid comes and asks real questions or has real problems in his life.
It's not changing a tire. Trey loves changing tires.
Well, he's good at it.
Fantastic. Yeah. There are simple steps you have to take. If you do them correctly, everyone is happy and you've made somebody else's day better. I like changing somebody else's tire.
Because you feel like a hero.
Because then I feel like a hero. Changing my own tire, I'm like, this is just a nuisance.
Sure.
So you'll be the guy that stops if you see a lady stopped on the side of the road. You'll stop and change her tire.
I've done it a number of times, and
Wow.
you know what? It never works out well.
Why?
You're like, I can do this good. It's going to take 5 minutes.
There have been times where I let somebody had to borrow my spare tire.
Oh,
I went and like jacked up their whole thing. They had the jack already out and like kind of trying to figure it out. And I was like, oh, I got you. And I jacked it all the way up. Cool. Where's the spare tire? She's like, I think it might be in the trunk. So I open up the trunk. No spare tire. She notices that I have the same amount of lug nuts as she does. So she's like, can I just borrow yours and you follow me to the tire shop? So I did that and ended up with a nail in my tire. So I had to go back and get a new
How'd you
tire.
get bad karma from doing good stuff?
Listen, I don't know. I do it all the time. On my birthday, I was a little bit angry. A guy asked me for some money at the gas station. I bought him some lunch and gave him $20 to try to make myself feel better because charity's selfish. And then I go over. All I wanted was to get 2 disgusting but delicious chili cheese conies from Sonic. Sonic didn't have power that day.
Oh, hell no.
What is this?
I don't
Stop
know.
doing things that are nice for people.
My wife, I'm not going to say she forbids me from helping people, but she's not a big fan of it. Because I think my wife, when it comes to those instances, is a pessimist. She feels like if I stop and help someone on the side of the road, which I'm a fan, like you, Trey, I want to be a hero.
Yeah.
I want to get out and I want somebody to be like, this guy saved my life. Or maybe not life, but my day.
My day.
Yeah.
And my wife tells me, well, if you stop on the side of the road and you get hit by a car, your kids aren't gonna have a father now. I'm like, yeah, but I helped a lady.
I died a hero.
Yeah. Or now her thing is, because this has been happening apparently, allegedly, because she will find a story to make this actually get in my head. She said, that's how people get set up to get robbed. They'll pretend like they need help.
Yeah, I've seen those kind of TikTok videos.
Yeah. And then you stop to like help them change the tire. And while you're, under the car, you're jacking it up or whatever, they basically rob you.
Steal
They're like,
you. Steal
yeah,
your
guess
car.
what? Guess what? Yeah, we don't need you. This is a stolen car. Now we need your car or they rob you. So that's where my wife lies when it comes to helping people, or at least me helping people.
So circling back around to my insecurities as a father looking into the future. So I need to be able to tell Quaid, like, be nice to everybody, even though I'm not nice to everybody, and I feel like I'm going to be a hypocrite a lot of times in my parenting.
That I've noticed, and I don't know if you've noticed this, Nick, now that Davis is actually in school and stuff, that has a lot to do with which kids your kids are around.
Yeah.
I noticed that my son used to be a very happy-go-lucky, everything was sunny, and everything was positive that came out of his mouth. Same with my daughter. Chloe's still there for the most part. But when school started, I started noticing that Kaysen would, instead of saying something good about something he saw or somebody he saw, he would say something negative.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where is this coming from? Is it me? Is it my wife? And then I went to have lunch with him one day at school, and I heard the other kids, and I heard nothing but negative stuff coming out of their little mouths. Like a teacher walked in who I thought looked very good and pretty. And I heard a little boy make fun of something that I didn't even notice, made fun of the teacher. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, it absolutely has a lot to do with who they're around. And then you just got to reinforce it.
Right. Well, what's the difference between joking with your buddies? You know, I'm ribbing Nick, messing with him about whatever. Or is it bullying at that point, or are you just messing with your buddy?
It's the timing. It's who you're around. So if you're with your boys, whatever, man, have fun. But if there's people around, if there's extra ears that could hear what you're saying, and that would maybe judge you forever after hearing what you said, that's where you got to watch yourself. We've all been in a room with each other with our boys, and we say dumb jokes or we say something stupid.
And that's okay?
Yeah.
So I should just tell him, hey, you can say whatever you want around
When you're with your
boys.
friends, the point is to make them cry.
Right.
That's the point.
Right. It's this weird line we got to walk.
Exactly. And so
Can I tell you what helped me get empathy growing up?
Sure.
It was helping people.
Really?
We had just talked about not helping people. But I definitely remember growing up.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that my family, we volunteered every weekend. It was like once a year. But once a year, we would deliver Christmas presents to underprivileged people from a shelter in the city, or we would do Meals on Wheels. I did Meals on Wheels a few times, like with my best friend's mom. We drove around and did Meals on Wheels. So you're going to see all these super old people, or you're going to see really poor people, or something like that. That helped me get a lot of empathy. I'm not saying that I was perfect about it, but you see people who have a completely different life than I was privileged to have.
So do you carry that on? Like, do you try to get data, or you? Or?
I distinctly remember giving a boy, we didn't buy it, but it was like a donation. We gave a boy a bike.
Yeah.
And it was like the best day of his life.
Oh, good.
And he was, super poor and, not a lot of money.
Probably cried happy tears.
I think it was a trailer house and stuff like that. And like he was crying, his family, like I remember that as a 10-year-old doing that. And it kind of helps you think like, okay, you don't always know everyone's circumstances. You don't know what people are going through and stuff like that.
I remember crying after receiving a gift because I think I got empathy from the way I grew up. So when I see a kid that was similar to me when I was a kid, I try to tell my kids, I was like, you got to be nice to that kid because I could tell something's happening or he doesn't have what other kids have. I want to give a shout out. I'm not going to say his name because I don't know how his dad feels about it, but I'm friends with a gentleman who's the chief of police of a city. Mm-hmm. And his son is a kid I coach. And his son...
that's a good way to get out of a speeding ticket.
I got to be in the city that he's a chief of, right? So I'm not always in that city. But I saw his mom post the other day that their son, and I think it all has to do with the fact that his mom is a principal and his dad is a chief of police, so he sees acts of service.
Yeah, his parents are serving
people. They're serving people and low income people at that. Yeah. And this boy got a note sent home from the teacher that said, "Hey, I just want to let you know that your son was in class today." And we told him to break off into groups. Now, if you're that kid in class who's shy or has anxiety, it's tough, right? It's tough to like throw yourself in there and be like, do you want to be my partner? Or maybe, and the teacher said, this is the kid that kids shy away from. They don't really participate with him. They don't invite him to do things. And so when we broke off into groups, I noticed that he was in the corner. Not one person asked him to be a partner. And your son noticed that his head was down and he could tell he was sad. And he walked over to the student that nobody ever invites, nobody ever sits to next to lunch. It was in the beginning of the school year too, by the way. And invited him and said, "Hey, do you want to be a partner with me and my friend?" Mm-hmm. Like that is, I know it sounds small, but that is huge.
It's a big deal.
That he noticed, that a 10-year-old boy noticed. Man, when I saw his mom at practice, I told her, I was like, your son has always shown me that he's that guy, but he is that guy. Yeah, he is that great he's going to be a great human.
And do you think that that's just who he is, or with nature versus nurture?
I think it's both.
Probably both. Yeah.
It's both. It's watching his parents serve the community over and over and over again. It's seeing his dad receive accolades for what he's done for the city they live in. It's watching his mom, who works in a lower I wouldn't say it's a lower income neighborhood, but it's not the suburbs. You know,
Right.
she's in the city. It's him just constantly being aware of what his parents are doing and then translating that to school.
And I think a lot of this is going to boil down to, hey, Trey, you need to change first so that Quaid can see.
Yeah, I think you need to keep
good.
doing those nice things.
But he will.
And probably also, like what you say around your kids is so important. So not always tearing people down.
Totally.
You know what I
totally.
mean? Just like you never
Yeah,
want to
and we
tear
gotta
down
catch
your
ourselves,
spouse or
yeah.
something. But yeah, if you don't want to be like, oh, that homeless person or something, like, you know, just don't talk negatively
course.
about people around
But to give you something, you know, the same way that my friends have their jobs where their son notices, we have a job that has a charity involvement. And you guys have noticed, I pull my kids out of school every year when we go on our kids trip, and I have them come to the send off because I want them to see.
Yeah.
I want them to see what life is for kids that are, you know, dealing with chronic issues or maybe a terminal illness, and watching how these kids are still smiling and are finding positivity. That has been a big impact with my kids.
Yeah.
And I know Quaid is going to get to see that. And I know your kids are going to get to see that, Nick. So, I mean, you have that. He's going to notice good things.
Right. And I want to get into bullying here in just
Okay.
1 second because I don't know how to navigate that one at all. But now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Maybe you've been bullied in the past and it weighs on your mind. Or maybe you're just noticing that there's too much weight on your shoulders. There's so much going on in the world and you just can't problem solve like you used to. BetterHelp will get you back on track.
Yeah, therapy is not as of a taboo subject anymore. It's very destigmatized now.
Yep.
So I know we have a lot of men listening, a lot of ladies that are listening. So encourage your men to get out there and see someone if they need someone. Men, get out there and talk to someone. It's confidential. Everything is on the low if you want it to be, and that's great. And this is therapy the way that you want it. You can get help right from the comfort of your own home. You can get help during a video chat with a therapist. You can get help just on a phone call with a therapist.
Yep.
You can even get help if you just want to send messages back and forth.
And look, I used to be in therapy when I was a kid, you know, in high school. And then you kind of get done with therapy and it's over. And then you become an adult and you think, okay, I'm fixed. But things pop back up. I was feeling anxiety from things in my past. And I started realizing, I'm like, oh no, something's going on with my brain. Reaching out to BetterHelp. And a lot of the times not going to the therapist was because it was inconvenient. I'll be honest.
Sure.
I don't have time to make an appointment. I don't want to drive somewhere. When I reached out to BetterHelp and I realized I could do it from the comfort of my own home and that they talked me through this anxiety that I was dealing with from when I was in high school.
Right.
It made me feel better about it, and I found ways to problem solve. Everything started going right again.
It's convenient, it's affordable, it is accessible and entirely online. So you can get matched with your therapist by filling out a brief survey and switch therapists anytime you want. We want you to be a better problem solver. Therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/daddies today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/daddies.
So school is back in session, and sometimes the way that they teach you things in school is not the best way for your kid to learn.
Totally.
Sometimes it's not their style. They just can't grasp it. Well, we want you to reach out to our friends at OutSchool. Enroll in fun, flexible learning experiences with over 140,000 online classes and even camps for every kid of any interest.
Check this out. OutSchool offers the widest variety of classes, so kids are free to learn about anything they can imagine. And we're talking about, I know all our kids like to play video games, right? Well, they can learn about video game design. They can learn about becoming entrepreneurs at a young age, which can actually light a fire underneath them. And maybe you got the next Jeff Bezos. Maybe you got an Elon Musk and you just need OutSchool to help you out with that.
Look, I don't need help with these, but you can also take freestyle dance lessons and magic lessons. I'm an expert at both.
Of course.
Good.
Now, I know when I learn something new, it gives me confidence. It makes me feel like, hey, I'm doing something with my life. Kids are the same way. You want to be able to get them hooked on learning, and OutSchool empowers your kids with all different styles of learning, from online classes to one-on-one tutoring, and they can choose how they learn.
OutSchool will have your kids loving to learn and having fun while doing it, which is the most important thing. So head on over to outschool.com/daddies, and then make sure you use our code DADDIES to learn about OutSchool's programs and save $15 on your child's first class. That's OutSchool, outschool.com/daddies. You'll save $15 on your child's first class. Outschool.com/daddies, and that code is DADDIES.
Okay, so I hate bringing up how I was bullied as a kid. I don't think people really care to hear about it. Like, it's in the past, get over it. And it's embarrassing to me because I seem weak.
I think a lot of people, you'd be surprised, have been bullied. Sure. Even bullies have been bullied. It's weird.
Yeah.
When you talk to your friends, it's like at some point somebody got bullied, and
Yeah.
maybe
Sure.
yours was a lot longer though.
And you know, I would cry.
Yeah.
I would feel like I didn't have friends, things like that. And so again, you were saying pretty much everybody gets bullied at some point
At
in
some
time.
way.
Somewhere.
And maybe it's your friends thinking that they're just joking around, like I was saying, and it really hurts somebody's feelings. Maybe it is just somebody trying to be mean to you. I know I would come home sad, cry, want to be alone, all that stuff. I never learned how to get out of that feeling. Like, I don't know how, if today people were like coming to pick on me and pushing me around, I probably would go back into the same mode and just kind of like sulk and live in it forever. And it would put imprint on my soul. I don't know. Is there a way that I can help Quay when he does get bullied? I know you may not have the magic answer right now, but if you guys do come up with a way, or chatty daddies or mommies, because this is the part of being a parent, I have no idea how to help them. All I can do is go, I went through it too, and it sucks.
The thing I try to drill with Kaysen, because he goes through it sometimes, there's some kids that pick on him a little bit. The thing I've been trying to drill with him, I will give him a hug. If he's down, I will give him a hug. Okay. I will tell him it's okay. Because remember, I told him, don't cry at school. Don't let those boys see your tears, because then they know, right? So if he wants to come home, I will hold him and he can cry with me or whatever he needs to. But I tell him, don't respond. Don't react.
Right.
When you react, that's when the bullies see blood. And once you react with, it could be something as small as his nose isn't big, but your nose is big. And then you say, no, it's not. And you get upset. Guess what the bully's going to do every day now? Say your nose is big. So if they say something, or with my son, there's a kid at his school that constantly tells him, you suck at football. I tell Kaysen, do you suck at football? No. So if you let him know that hurts you, then he's going to keep doing it. But if he says you suck at football and you just look at him and go like, okay, cool story.
They move on.
They move on. There's no fire behind that. Like, okay, that didn't work, so I need to find something else. If you just drill that you shouldn't care what everybody thinks about you, whether it's good or bad. Because the same way goes with, like, if they constantly get complimented, they turn into big heads. Don't worry about what people say about you.
But you have to worry about what people think of you.
It's going to happen.
It's
So
natural.
how do I tell him?
You don't.
It doesn't matter.
You just have to kind of drill that into him. I tell Kaysen, if you look in the mirror and you're proud of who you are, and you're proud of how you're doing, and you're proud of your grades, and you think you're a good person, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you that not to let it hurt you, because it's going to hurt, but I can tell you how you can respond to it. And if you respond in a way that to you, you're indifferent, then they're probably going to move on somewhere else.
Right.
That's what I've been trying to. And listen, does he do it every time? No, because he still comes home heated sometimes, because he's a boy and he lets ego and pride get in the way at times, and he responds, and those kids jump on that. That's the one thing that I've been trying and I think could help. But with my son, he's still, you know what I mean?
You know, I'm wondering if one thing that we could all try, you know, I don't have kids much older than your son, Trey, is if that does ever happen, we could try to, of course, tell him all those things that we talked about, but find another group of people. If people make fun of him because he's super into Legos, then
or anime or whatever
it is, then you find those other outside places, or you find an extracurricular basketball team at the Y to play on, where it's no friends from his school and he can like clean slate it. Now that's easier said than done.
Totally.
It gets expensive. We only have so much time in the day.
And
but
you're forced to be in a classroom with people that you think hate you or want to make you feel bad. Yeah, that's the biggest one that I don't look forward to dealing with. The other thing is I'm not a very big ladies man. I don't know if you know. I have no idea what I'm going to tell them. Yes, exactly.
I'm still surprised you landed Kara.
I'm a goofball. I'm kind of awkward, especially when I first meet people, and so I'm gonna have to navigate those waters as well. And I
mean,
don't
you
know.
just tell someone to be yourself. You don't want someone to like you for someone that you're not.
Absolutely,
right?
Sure. You want somebody.
That's the thing you're supposed to say.
Great. But there are times where you're gonna need to try to be a different person than who you actually
and we all
are.
do it.
And that's usually right in the beginning.
Yeah.
You want to try to be a different person to draw them in.
Hey, Quaid, who's the guy in your grade that gets the most ladies? Troy? All right, what's Troy do? Okay, do that.
Oh, man, no, because sometimes you go look at the kid that they say is getting all the ladies, and you're like, that kid? Like, the way, because the way they're acting is like, a little DB-ish, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Agree.
Oh, yeah.
I understand.
Listen, my son has had a couple crushes, and I will give my son this. He is so good at handling rejection.
There you go.
You know, he had a girl that he liked last year. I talked about it a little bit, and he would always come home. He was like, I tried to talk to her today. Did she talk to you? Yeah, a little bit. I was like, does she like you? He goes, I don't know. I'm trying to find out. He asks around.
Yeah, that's
you
how
know.
you play the
I
game.
told him that. I was like, look, if you like somebody, let them know. Let them know you like them. Why hide it? Why let some other dude come in who has more guts and take your woman? You know, if that could be your lady one day. So I said, let people know if you like them. If you think somebody looks pretty or you like what they're wearing, tell them. Compliment the girls. Compliment the guys. Compliment everybody. But one time he finally got the guts towards the end of the year. And he said, hey. And we talked about it. We practiced, guys. We practiced.
Nice.
On the couch.
What?
I said, well, like, you know how he would talk to her. Like, we were sitting on the couch one day. And he goes, how should I tell her? I said, you just look at her and go, hey, I just want to tell you I think you're really pretty and I like you. And that's it. And then you just wait to see what she says. And he goes, do I ask her if she likes me back? And I said, listen, if you feel like you want to ask her if she likes you, do it. So we practiced. He'd be like, hey, you know, he did a kind of goofy a couple times. I said, no, straighten it up. Make it a little more chill. Like, don't be forceful with it. And he went and he did it the next day, the way we practiced. But he told me, he threw in, do you like me at the end? And she said, no. I couldn't tell because he didn't come home sad. He didn't come home crying, nothing. He came home like in a chipper mood. And I said, man, you seem like you're taking it well. And he goes, I don't know. It felt so good to get it off my chest that now she knows and now she knows. And now I know. And it's okay. And maybe one day she'll like me in middle school or high school or maybe never. And he took it so freaking well, guys, that I was like, damn, this dude handles adversity like no other.
God, I would love to have that mindset.
Can I tell you about the ballsiest person I've ever met in my life?
Please.
Was it in elementary school?
It was in high school.
It was in high school?
Driver's ed.
Okay.
I think it was either the summer before or after 9th grade. So it's every day we go to this class, and there was a guy from a different high school than ours that was in our driver's ed class. And hanging out with a couple of my friends, one girl that we're with, her name's Leslie, gorgeous, very pretty. This guy from this other school, by all accounts, if you looked at him, he would be stereotypically labeled as the nerdy guy, the dork. He was a little pudgy. He wore like Wranglers and cowboy hats, tucked his shirt in. You know, he was just kind of a goofy guy. But every single day, he asked Leslie out on a date in front of everyone. It'd be like during a break, like a 10-minute break. We'd all just be like hanging out, eating chips or something. Every day he'd ask her out for lunch.
What a
She
legend.
said no every day. One day he wrote a song for her and sang it in front of everyone. And
Was it good?
no.
Okay.
And, you know, it comes a point where it's
Embarrassing?
it's very funny. I mean, it was funny. Like I'm
You're
the
laughing
jerk.
at him.
We were laughing.
You looked forward to him asking Leslie out.
After 2 weeks, she says no every day,
And it seems
and
like-
then he writes a song for her. It was awkward.
What a legend.
I mean,
pretty
we did
pathetic.
laugh. Maybe I'm a bad person. He
No.
didn't get it, but I will say that was the ballsy thing ever. Don't do that, Quaid.
Right.
Don't do that.
Oh, so
But
he never got the date. I was
never
hoping
did.
for a happy ending.
He never did.
Oh, man.
No.
But that was what he wanted. That was what he thought he should do. Be yourself, though, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what people think.
Yeah.
You know, Leslie
Even
wasn't
though-
the girl for him.
Even though you remember 20 years later about how embarrassing and how you laughed at him. You're right. No, it doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, man.
I
Isn't life tough, guys?
God bless people that can just go, whatever.
He had the balls every
Yeah.
day to do it.
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish I was that guy.
Are there any other things that are on your mind that you're stressed about?
The only other one was how to tell him to step out of his comfort zone.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
That is hard.
Well, I don't know that I've ever found my comfort zone. Like, I am uncomfortable every day. I assume I'm getting fired.
Well, hey,
I
look,
think that
you
my
stepped
wife
into the
might hate
radio
me.
world. That's unconventional. That's not in your wheelhouse when
True.
you wanted. You were going to be like a software or a computer guy or something.
scientist like my father.
Yeah, so that was a very typical, standard, good job, good future, and you took a big risk, stepped outside of your comfort zone,
Yeah.
and hung out with the weirdos in radio.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And you did things that, we say a thing, and at least in football, growing up, it was get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Well,
Yeah.
And that's how you grow.
If you're
dude.
uncomfortable, you're not growing. If you're-
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think I'm looking for the inverse. Is how do I teach him to find his comfort zone?
Oh.
Like, I don't know that I've ever found my comfort zone.
I think it just happens.
Yeah.
I don't think I've found my comfort zone. I don't know.
You still haven't
I
found
don't
your
know.
comfort
I don't
zone?
know if I found.
Everyone's uneasy. Everyone's wondering, did I make that right choice? Am I doing what I should be
Yeah.
doing with my life?
I'm constantly thinking, am I going to be able to provide for my family my
Totally.
entire till they're 18? I swear I go to sleep at night wondering, like, damn,
Yeah.
am I going to be able to provide?
Makes me nauseous.
I know. And you know what, Trey? I've been in this job for 16 years. I've been feeling like that since day one.
Yeah.
If I would have just said shut up to my brain, I could have enjoyed these 16 years. I enjoyed them, but I would have enjoyed them so much more because you make it work. You make things work. We're human,
Right.
And we have family and we have friends, and regardless of what happens, whether we lose our jobs, we're gonna make it work. That's what we got to figure out, right?
I guess.
Hey, are you done with your thingy?
Yep, I'm all done.
Okay, so we're trying.
And thank you guys. I
yeah,
appreciate
no,
it.
Yeah, I don't know if we answered
I don't know
your
if we
question.
answered
No,
anything.
it's good. I just was letting some steam. Or not
It was
steam up,
therapeutic.
but just talking stuff out. What's
We all
going
have
on in my
fears.
brain? So
we
thanks.
all have fears.
And do
It's good to
share chatty mommies and chatty daddies if you have some ideas for Trey. Maybe we'll read them in the future podcasts.
This week, we started trying something new in our household. The jury is still out on if it's working or not.
What?
No TV during the week.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh, nice. For you guys as well? For the
No,
parents? Okay.
Just for the kids. I mean, we don't watch TV around them.
Do as
We're
we
usually
say,
doing
not as we do, yes.
Yeah, we're just hanging out with them. But it used to be they would watch 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour of TV after school. But then they would always get upset right before bedtime. They'd get upset because they didn't have enough time to play. Big breakdown, screaming
Yeah.
and crying. And it's like, okay, well, here's more playtime. It's exclusively playtime.
Right.
Because we would always say, hey, you can play, or do you want to watch a show or something? They'd be like, oh, I'll watch a show. I'll play later. And they never played later.
Never played.
And so it's just a big vicious cycle. So we did that. And so far it's been okay.
They haven't thrown fits?
They were a little bummed when we first told them. We've only been implementing it now for maybe 2 days or so.
Okay.
And so jury's still out, but that's what we're working on.
Yep.
And we'll
we
see how it
tried it.
goes.
We tried that.
It didn't work.
I mean, it went well for like a week, or 2 weeks, and then we got to the point where they were
Yay
constantly
Networks.
in our faces.
I know. It's like, man, I got to entertain these
And
kids.
they're like, and I was like, man, it's like 8 o'clock at night, and it's almost bedtime. And I was like, you know what, Kinsey? What if we just let them watch 30 minutes before they go to bed, and then it just went back to normal. So, I mean, it was working really well. Their behavior got better.
That's good. That's what I'm looking for.
We were hanging out a lot more, and so you're on the right track. You're doing it right.
And it's a good time to do it now because the weather's about to be nice and cool
Yeah.
for the whole day. So you get probably
Get out
2-3
and play
weeks. You
more.
can go outside and do something fun instead of just
I-
toys inside.
I did have the conversation because we just started doing something new as well, Nick, and that is no iPads during the week.
Great.
Because my kids came home, and I'm normally at the gym when they come home, so I don't really see them. But a lot of times I try to get home by the time they're there so I could see them, and sometimes I got to pick them up. But they got home the other day, and I was sitting on the couch, and remember, my kids and I used to do a dance called the Daddy's Home
dance. Adorable.
To this day I still think about that and remember how happy it made me feel. And they came home, and they went straight upstairs and to their rooms. No hi, Papa. I didn't even get a chance to ask how school was.
Not
Just
even a kiss my ass.
Nothing. And if I'm lying, if I told you it didn't break my heart, I'm lying.
Yeah.
It like kind of a little bit of I heard it went like it's
Yeah.
cracking, and I waited another day, and I came home early from the gym the next day just to see if it was a fluke. They came home again, straight upstairs, got on their iPads. Now, the rule in my house is you have to ask for iPad permission. I don't know where this happened, but they all of a sudden think they're free will anytime you want, right?
Yeah.
I went upstairs and I had a conversation with both of them, and I said, listen, I'm going to be real with you guys. You guys came home, didn't acknowledge me, didn't say hi, didn't say how was your day. I didn't get a chance to ask you how your day was, and it hurt. It hurt me. I said, you guys used to dance with me when I came home or when you guys came home. And now you guys go upstairs because you guys care about this little pad right here. Mm-hmm. My son's eyes started welling up with tears. My daughter's eyes welled up with tears. In my head, I'm like, oh, damn, am I being too rough?
Guilt.
Or is
Guilt
that
trip.
guilt? That guilt is climbing up. And my son said, I'm sorry. He said, I'm sorry, Papa. And I said, I just want to show you. I know I'm your dad. And maybe at times you think we're superheroes, me and your mom, but we're human and we have emotions. And one day you guys are going to move out of this house and it's getting closer and closer and closer. Just like the same way we stopped dancing and the same way I stopped being able to carry you upstairs. Yep. One day I'm going to stop being able to say goodnight to you because you're not going to live here. Mm-hmm. And I just want you to know that I want to spend as much time as I can with you. I want you to ask me to play catch. I want you to ask me to play soccer, Chloe. And I had this like cool conversation with my kids. And I said, and so for that reason, from now on, no iPads during the week. Now, if I hadn't prefaced it with that speech, it would have been
total meltdown.
Tyranny. But they handed it to me, and they said, okay. And so we've been doing it for 2 days. And so far, so good, though. Like, they haven't asked for it. Everything's fine. I did let my son he had a school project where he had to edit something on an iPad, which was fine. I said, schoolwork is fine.
It's fine.
Anything that helps with your brain is cool, but we're not just going to get on there and play. So I'm on the same boat, but kind of different, which is with iPads, Nick.
I gotta know. That's great. Love what you're doing there. When do I tell my kids to leave me alone? Because y'all just need to go play by yourselves at times. Because like I'm all with the gentle parenting.
Yeah.
I'm all with being with your kids as much as possible. I try it, but then like after like 3 hours, guys, can I just like chill and you guys just chill?
Absolutely. Tell them go play with your
like
toys.
Does that make me a bad person?
No.
I'm not going to. I'll give you my opinion fully knowing that basically everything I thought before I was a father ended up being wrong, and then I thought a new thing of how I should write, and then that was wrong, and you guys were.
Can I guess?
Right. Just spend your time with your kids.
No, I know. I am. But
he
like
spent 3 hours with him, Trey.
At some point, it's like,
all right, get out of here.
Can I like sit on the couch and play, or do I have to sit on the floor? Like, can I? Like, is it 24/7? I have to be there.
No. Is that what they want?
They look.
Yeah, probably.
Children need to learn how to be. They need independence.
They need to learn independence.
They need to learn how to play by themselves or with each other. But parents don't need to be around all the time.
Yeah, they need to draw something because they thought of it, not me tell them what to draw. Because they'll be like, "Daddy, what should I draw? A dog," and then they draw a dog. Now, what should I draw? A monkey. They draw a monkey. Maybe they could sit over there and draw something, whatever they want.
Whatever you want to, and not ask me. Yeah, I feel you on that.
It's not like I spend 4 minutes with them and then I go to my room and shut the door and lock the door. I mean, like, we're with each other all day, nonstop. It's like, at some point, y'all can, like, just go do your own thing, right?
I know I'm playing a little bit in the middle here because I know Trey says be with your kids, and I'm kind of having your back on this. But also at the same time, I'm at the point where I wish I had that.
You had that time back.
I do.
If I could spend all day, every day with Quaid, it sounds like a dream job. That's all I want to do. Again, I haven't made it to where you guys are, and I'm probably going to change my tune here in a little bit.
You're still in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah, you're still with he doesn't have an opinion and doesn't have the tantrums.
But that's all I want to do. Like, I cannot wait to leave work. I cannot wait for him to wake up in the morning. Things like that. Because I want to go play with him.
You know what? I'll tell you guys a funny story since we got a little serious today. If you have a child in your car or in your room right now, listen to the podcast. Listen to this later. So this is your warning.
Turn it off.
Yeah. This is your warning because it's getting a little PG-13-ish here. We're in the car on the way to football practice yesterday. And Kason was a little quiet. Normally we listen to like Eminem when we talk, and he was quiet, like really pensive. And I looked over. I was like, "Dude, is everything okay?" Because last time it was a girl. And he goes, "Can I ask you a question?"
Uh-oh.
And I said, "Sure."
Uh-oh.
He goes, "What's a boner?"
Well,
and I said, first of all, where'd you hear that? Who told you about a boner? And he goes, and he told me the kid's name. And I go, oh, yeah, sounds about right. I've seen that kid. And I said, okay. How did he use it? Like, what did he say? And he goes, well, he asked me if I ever got a boner. And I said, okay, he's asking questions. Got it.
Well.
Okay. Well, how'd you answer, Kaysen? And he goes, I don't know what it is. So I just lied. And I said, of course.
You gotta be
Good answer.
positive. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you say yes to things.
And then and this is where Kaysen felt weird about it because he goes, when I said, of course, he laughed and didn't say anything else. Mm-hmm. He goes, did I say the wrong thing? What's a boner? Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I don't think you said the wrong thing. And I'm going to tell you what the technical term for that is, and you're going to learn about it here this year, is an erection. And he goes, what's an erection? Mm-hmm. And I said, okay. So I said, in the morning when you wake up, and he goes, and I got to go pee. And I go, yeah, you maybe got to go pee, but you wake up and something's happening to your guy, And he goes, oh, like when he's like bigger than normal? And I said, yes, when he is bigger than normal. And he goes, yeah. I said, that son, that's an erection. Mm-hmm. He goes, why does it happen? I said, well,
Dun, dun, dun.
Here we go.
Scientifically, a bunch of blood rushes to that particular area, and it just kind of inflates it like a balloon, and that's it. And then once the body's like, yeah, no, I'm good with this, it'll deflate and go back to normal. And he goes, can I control it? I said, sometimes, but sometimes you can't.
Not for a while. Son.
Not for a while, buddy.
You can control it in one direction.
Yeah. And so
The other direction's kind of hard.
And so he goes, is it good that I get boners? And I said, number one, stop calling it that.
Please stop.
Just call it an erection. And two, it's a good thing that you get them. It means that your body's working and it's functioning and you're just becoming a young man. And he said, okay. All right, so I like to flick it. And I said, stop.
Stop.
I said, I don't want to hear any more about that. I don't care what you do with it. I just want to let you know that it's okay that you have it. You're going to learn all about it during sex ed, and everything's going to be okay. And he said, okay, Dad. All right. So, and then he goes and doubles down. He goes, so do they call it a boner because it's as hard as a bone? And I said, actually, yes. So I think that's actually where it came from because I don't know where the term came from.
Makes
but
sense
that
to me.
actually made a lot of sense when he said it. So you'll get to that point where you get those sort of questions, Trey, and it's
And then you just be like, go away.
Yeah.
Get away from me.
because
that's when I tell them to leave.
leave
me alone.
that's when they should go draw on their own.
But you know what? All the awkward conversations, you need to have them in the car.
Those are the
because
best.
then you don't have to look at each
And
other.
you look out the
straight.
window.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't make it taboo either, because then that could make it. Yeah. But
Right.
that's fun.
it
How
was
exciting.
It was interesting.
All right. Well, how about no dad bop this week?
Nah, not this week.
Sing happy birthday to Quaid for me. That would be great. Davis's birthday is coming up.
Davis is coming up next week. He's
and
having a
then-
birthday party this weekend too.
Cool.
Nice.
So we got birthday party talk coming up next weekend.
Yeah, it'll
Nice.
be fun.
Woo!
Sounds good.
My name's Nick Adams.
I'm Trey Peart.
I'm JC Chavez.
and don't forget,
Stand up straight.
The Chatty Daddies Podcast.